honored to be here, and I hope I can give my 2 cents to a topic that has been discussed over and over. And I agree with everything that has been said. And my answer to why aren't solution implemented today will be true, not true. And I will talk about power, equity, and science. So yes, it's a drama. Solutions are not implemented and we're losing again. So if we take EU's situation right now, the EU Commission has been cutting off 30 major health NGO out of the operating grant that were actually granted. So I don't know first how is that not how is it even legal? We have the support of member of European Parliament. We have the support of member state from the European Council. Yet the Commission said we stopped funding NGO. We know the importance of COVID. We know the importance of preparedness. We've been framing our advocacy also about security and showing that public health is often left out of the strategic conversation. And without a healthy population, there's no economic productivity, no community cohesion, no trust in institution. So we know that. We know societies that invest in public health system is better equipped to face all the threats. Yet they stopped, and maybe I'm too French. I said we should go in front of the president's office and block her and ask for answer, but we're not doing that. So we don't have power. We're just letting people go, and as we let people go, we cannot advocate, and it's a risk for democracy. It's a risk for trust, and yet we are just helpless. And this is tragic. This is a problem. This is a problem for implementation. And this is another proof that science speeches, and we've been saying in Europe, and EU has been saying, stand up for science, and we will be welcoming US scientists. But here we are, stopping the money and stopping health from the program of EU. Yet, my second point is, yes, implementation is happening, and it's happening big times in local level. And before being at UFA, I used to be deputy mayor in Rennes, in the west of France. And my biggest pride is that when the power is shared and anchored in community and anchored with science and civil servant, it works. And the project we led, and some of them were really ambitious, like having the whole city urban planning to be led by health and science and health impact assessment in everything we do. They keep going, even though I've been living from there since 2020. And it's thriving because we built with a network with the WHO Health CCT. We had evidence-based policy, we worked with science, and we spent all the time we needed for science to be able to communicate with civil servants and communities and to answer back. And it took the longest time ever because they spoke very different languages. And then when science comes with epidemiology or proportionate universalism, you're losing the community. But if you take the time, you translate, and you have real participatory processes where citizens, frontline worker, youth, vulnerable groups have a seat at the table. We also had someone in the session before said that there's a problem of credit. Who owns the credits? Big things in health, and we've seen that in all the cities in Europe that have been implementing. We get the credit to urban planners, we give the credit to the mayor, we give the credit to economic people. We don't take the health credit, we share credit. It's health as a common good for everyone, health in all, health for all policy, and that works. Other success, well, obviously, is a big mass for advocacy. Even if I didn't step up to Ursula von der Leyen office, I did step into the mayor office or the minister's office, and courage helps, because if you speak loud, you get more. And when you're a representative of people, the best thing you can do is advocate louder because your voice is loud. And it's really something that we don't do enough. And it's about power too, or the fear of power. And of course, sharing outcomes as common goods, but not trophies. Sharing what didn't work, sharing how we did it so that we can grow, adapt, and not reinvent the wheel all the time. And then my third point is, why don't we share more? And I feel sometimes we are inventing so many networks, so many places, and we compete and not complete, and we don't trust the collective power because power is so often seen as the zero sum. If I share it, I lose it. Yet meaningful participation only happen when you give away your power. And I think we should really, really train ourselves in real implementation, real participatory science, especially when with vulnerable population, people in public health are not trained to work in prison. This is heartbreaking. It can be really hard to work in SLEM. You need to be trained for that. But it's also about power, because if you're a scientist, you hold some power. Are you really willing to share it? Are you willing to share your evidence paper with people that are not only thanks, acknowledged in the paper, but really co-author? Do they design research with you? Well, not a lot. So about training, about really sharing. And last point, and you talked about it, and one of the projects you have is about communication. We are so bad at narrative. You are so bad at storytelling. And one of my out of UFA project is a global health TV show. Like you see Grey's Anatomy meets The Diplomat or 24 Hour, and we share what's happening. We share the real story and the people, and we make it real for people, because sometimes we are just, you know, using big words and no one understands. I mean, how many of you really know how EU functions with the Commission, the Council? A very good TV show. Parliament is excellent. It explains you everything and it's so funny. So let's do something. Let's use a narrative. We need to put money to do that. We need to put work together. But I think this is where communities will really understand what we do, and then we can get there and challenge the power. So my conclusion, because I think I'm there, if we want science and if we want to walk our talk about equity and nothing for us without us, we must redesign power itself. We must anchor authority where evidence lives and where communities can fully, meaningfully contribute. And once that is when solutions will be implemented, that is only then we'll stop losing and we'll start winning. And the only way we win is that if we win together. Thank you.